All right, I'm here with Rémi, and he just recently hit Master Complete in Voltaic, and wanted to get a little interview with him because I had helped him for about 8 weeks with some coaching on aim training, and he told me that it helped a lot, but I wanted to sit down with him today and go over some questions to hopefully help other people that are trying to hit Master in Voltaic and just generally improve their aim with aim trainers. So, Rémi, how are you?
I'm really good. I'm
Good.
great, actually.
Awesome. He's in France right now, which is around 4 p.m. his time, and I'm in Colorado in the U.S., which is 9 a.m. So I just woke up. I'm not sure what you got done doing
I
today.
just
Did
woke
you
up.
you just woke up as well? Okay, so we're in the same position. All right. So I guess to start off, if you could just maybe give like a background of your experience with FPS games and shooters before you started aim training. I know that you played some Counter-Strike. What was kind of your life experience with shooters?
Yeah, basically, I only played CS for the majority of my gaming life, I say. I
Okay.
started playing CS Source when I was 12 and kept playing when CSGO went out. And until this day, I still play CS from time to time. Not as much as I used to, but CS was my main game for 10 plus years, yeah.
And you were global elite, and did you hit face it level 10 or was that level 9? I can't remember.
No, max I reached was level 8, I think. But the people I used to play with stopped playing, so yeah, I stopped
Okay.
playing as well.
Yeah. But you played some Apex in other games as well recently, right? Like
Yeah,
Fragpunk.
when Apex came out, actually, I tried to get into it, and I realized really fast that I couldn't track anyone because I was used to playing with a really low sense, and I
Right?
didn't realize I had to adjust it for other games.
Okay, yeah.
So when I tried playing Apex, it was really rough. I couldn't kill anyone, and I started doing some research, and that's how I found out about Kovacs.
See, that's the same story for me. I started playing Apex and realized that I couldn't hit anybody, and I was watching these guys on Twitch, and I was like, how are they? They look like the way that they're aiming and the way that I'm aiming looks totally different. So that's when I
Yeah,
started
exactly.
to get
For
into
me,
Kovacs
it
as
looked like
well.
they had aim assist on mouse and keyboard, and
Exactly.
I didn't
Yeah.
know this kind of aim with the mouse was possible. Actually,
Yeah.
it
Exactly.
looks really different from CS. You don't track anyone really in CS.
True.
So yeah, it was really new.
Yeah. Now that you have reached Master Complete here with Voltaic Season 5, do you feel like your aim, like have you gone back into Apex and felt like your aim is much better, or have you not really noticed that much of a difference?
I'd say it's better, but I improved a lot playing Apex alone, not really because of the aim trainer. So I still notice it's better, but it's not that much better, I say.
Okay, gotcha. Do you feel like you're just maybe more consistent and not?
Yeah, more consistent and more smooth overall.
Okay. To me, I feel like you also have to put in a lot of time in the game for your eyes to adapt to the game, because
Yeah,
half of
exactly.
aiming is using your eyes. So like Marvel Rivals, for example, the first few days that I was playing Marvel Rivals, I couldn't hit anything because I just like it was just mass chaos on my screen and I couldn't sort out what was a target versus what was just some random ability flying by my face. So I think
Yeah, that's
that's
the thing.
part of
If
it.
I think if I played more Apex right now, I could be really good at it, but I have really no interest in playing competitively, so
Gotcha.
just playing casually.
Understood. All right. If you could you kind of like walk me through your timeline for aim training? When did you start? How many hours has it taken you? Did you take any breaks during that time? And just kind of go through
A
that.
lot of breaks actually. I
Okay.
think I bought Kovacs in 2021 or maybe 2020 during the breakdown, the lockdown, the COVID thingy. And I was mainly focusing on one task for maybe 200 hours. I played like Ascended Tracking V3. I don't know if you know this
Oh
task.
yeah. I think that's like one of
You
the
know it?
first tasks that when you load up the game, it gives you.
Yeah. So I played that a lot. Like, yeah, I think I've put 200 hours on this task alone.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Uh, Yeah, I have a really high score actually. I cannot beat it to this day on it.
Really? That's
I
funny.
think I have 16k on it.
It's a
Uh,
decent scenario, all things considered. Probably not to only
yeah, but
play,
you,
but
it's a fun scenario to play, but it's not the most useful one, I say.
it's probably a good one for like Call of Duty if you're playing Punisher and Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, but
Maybe
the boss are
Soldier
so and
76.
so big. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's kind of
Okay.
easy.
But so you had started Voltaic benchmarks, I think maybe June or July of 2024, and that's when we started working together. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. I think I started playing the season 4 in January 2024, and I got stuck pretty fast to platinum.
To platinum.
That's
Okay.
why I reached out to you.
Gotcha. And then I think it was around July that we started working together, and I basically had you send me a list of 6 of your Voltaic scores, and then I reviewed them, and I
Yeah.
basically was. And if anybody wants to kind of coach themselves and review their own VODs, what I basically was trying to do was look at his VOD and then look at my own VODs of my own master scores that I had hit in all of these scenarios, and then compare the two and see like what was the difference between the two. And you can do the same
Yeah.
thing with higher level VODs if you watch Matty OW or some of these high tier guys. And I was trying to find the differences and then give him some notes on how to properly play the scenarios to maximize his score. And then also just general tips on how to be smoother and things like that. So did you feel like the way that I approached the coaching helped you, or with the like kind of the long list of notes, or was there something else that you think that maybe I should have done? Like what kind of feedback did you have for me?
Now the notes were really useful because before I didn't really know how to play the task properly. I was just aping and hoping for a good score. But you explained to me how to. It was on bounce something. Bounce shot.
180 or oh yeah, bounce shot.
Bounce 180. Bounce shot. I think it was bounce shot. I didn't really know how to play, and you told me to lead my shots, to be try to be a little smoother, and move my mouse a little less in order to read
Mm-hmm.
the trajectories, and this helped me a lot actually. Playing
That's
the task the right way makes a huge difference actually.
for scores especially, yeah. But
For
I've noticed
scores
that.
and for improvement as well,
Okay, yeah,
because you're creating good technique, good habits, and that's what make you improve, in my opinion.
right. And I think what I've gotten comments on is like my aiming style. If you watch, I don't know, I have a few videos of highlights of like in Halo, but like if I see a target that's jumping in the air, it's slow moving, and it's like a bounce shot scenario, I take my time and just lead the shot, and you're much more guaranteed to hit the shot that way. And I've noticed it
Yeah,
from almost everybody that starts out aim training with trying to do pasu and these bounce shot, these clicking scenarios, is they make it way more complicated than it needs to be, and they like try to chase the target and really out aim the scenario instead of just all you got to do is move your cursor in front of the path and then wait for the target to cross into your crosshair. So
yeah, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to track every single target on my screen, and
right,
this
which
is
is
not the
yeah,
yeah,
it's too
this
hard.
is not ideal.
Yeah.
But also in game, if you do that, you're making things harder for yourself.
Yep. Yep. So it was about 8 weeks of basically every week I gave you a new playlist to follow, and I was really trying to focus on getting you just higher scores in aim training. And to me, the aim training benchmarks from Voltaic, they're all good scenarios. You don't necessarily have to have a custom routine to follow. As long as you get overall better aim, in my opinion, like you're just improving your ability to use the mouse. You're improving your eye hand coordination. So what I'm trying to say is just improving at the benchmarks, I think, is just as valuable as just following a game specific routine. But I don't know what your thoughts are on that. Do you feel like if you're trying to improve at CS, like how much time would you spend aim training versus playing deathmatch in the game? Would aim training even be worth it for most people?
Yeah, I think you will still benefit from playing aim trainers for CS but you will have to still play the game more than Kovacs, and then try to notice what's wrong with your aim inside of the game, and trying to find tasks that will fix these issues you have.
Okay. So if you had
What?
like 4 hours consistently to play every day with Counter-Strike, how much time would you spend aim training versus deathmatch versus ranked? Like how would you split that up?
I think I'd play 1 hour of Kovacs and 3 hours CS, maybe 1 hour to 1 hour deathmatch, and then 2 hours playing the game.
Okay. So 1 hour aim train, 1 hour deathmatch, 1 hour or 2 hours ranked.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you feel like at a certain point, if you feel like your aim is your strongest aspect of your gameplay, that you should tone down the aim training, or just would you
Yeah,
keep it
definitely. Just
consistent?
play more of the game. Maybe
Okay.
play only 25, 35 minutes of Kovacs, then just hop in the game.
Okay.
You're not going to get good at any game if you're only playing Kovacs. You need to put hours into the game as well.
Right. You're gonna get good at Kovacs.
Yeah, sure. Right now, I think I'm better at Kovacs than any game I play.
Yeah. So how many hours do you have total in Kovacs now?
I think I have a little over 600 hours now.
600 to be master
Yeah.
complete with a lot of breaks. I feel like that's pretty.
Yeah, I think I played 2 hours the past months. I think I added 200 hours into Kovacs.
In the past 2 months.
Yeah.
So you were
I only played Kovacs.
nice. That's sometimes I would get obsessed with Kovacs and I didn't want to play anything else. To me, I love it because it's just pure skill development without all the frustration of like losing games and toxicity and people like thwarting what you're trying to do. It's all pure progress, like learning an instrument.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
Yeah, it's very nice. Um,
Also, playing the right task for your weaknesses is what makes it interesting, because you can see yourself improving.
true, true. So, do you feel like your aim is much smoother now?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Okay,
I aim with a lot less tension than I used to, and
that's
that
good.
makes a huge difference in the flicks, in the tracking, in every aspect of aiming. Actually, using very low tension is a lot better.
So, if you had to give some advice to people just starting out with aim training, what would be like your top 3 things that you would try to tell them?
Um, I definitely try to watch VODs online to see how people play the task properly. Because if you're trying to ape it and hope for the best scores, it's not gonna work out. And try to use as little tension as possible, especially on the precise tracking task, because this will make your aim a lot smoother, and it will make everything easier.
Okay.
And third advice, I try to find some playlist I enjoy to play, just to keep the motivation.
Okay. So, we started working in July and it was like 8 weeks of consistent coaching. We went from platinum to where you were basically starting to get master scores, if I remember right. You were definitely Jade.
I had one, yeah.
You had like one master score. And then we've switched seasons in Voltaic. So I don't know how the new scores compare to the old ones. I don't know if they're easier or harder, but I'm assuming they're about the same. But you'd taken
Yeah, it does not feel more difficult, I'd say. It's just a little different.
just different scenarios. Okay. But then you had taken a long break from aim training. I took a complete break from all of gaming for a few months, and then you came back recently and started hammering out master scores. And we stopped working together, but you had kind of you understood how to play the scenarios right, and how were you going about getting the master scores? Because I think you were trying to do like maybe one score at a time, or how did that go?
Yeah, I was trying to get one master score a day as a little challenge. I didn't always succeed, but I got a lot of master score each day. What I used to do was to watch some master scores VODs on YouTube and try to mimic that.
Okay. Would you like
But
watch a VOD while would you have it like on the screen, like you do some aim training and then you'd look at your VOD and then like go back and forth, or how did you do that?
Yeah, I was watching my best VOD, like the my PB VOD, and compare it to a master score and see what I could do differently.
I think that's awesome. I think that's probably the best way for anybody that's looking to improve to tackle this. If you don't want to go and get coaching, and even if you are getting
Yeah,
coaching, it still is helpful to see those VODs yourself.
it helped me getting the right pace on a lot of scenario, so I knew if I was on the right track or not. Sometimes you're just too slow. Sometimes you lack accuracy. So comparing to better VODs is really useful.
That's good. I sometimes I'll look at the top 100 leaderboard for a scenario, and I'll look at what their accuracy is, and I'll compare that to my own and try to see like, okay, am I going too fast, and I don't have good enough accuracy compared to what these guys are doing, or am I right in line? And then I kind of realize that I'm on the same pace. So that's another kind of way besides watching VODs.
Yeah, sometimes the pace is right, but you're just not accurate enough, so the scores goes way down.
Right. So did you enjoy? So when I hit Grandmaster, back, I don't know how long ago it was, but I did the same thing. I focused on one scenario at a time, and I definitely feel like that was a quicker way to get a high score in one scenario. But I kind of got rusty on all of my other scores. Do you feel like you would recommend that to most people, or do you feel like it's not a good way to aim train long term?
I don't think it's a good way, but it definitely works. For Grandmaster, I think I'd play more different tasks each day, like different categories every day,
Every day?
than
Okay.
just focusing on one task or one category a day.
So how many hours per day to get all these master scores were you roughly putting in?
Oh my god, depends on the task I was grinding. I think I've played 1 or 3 targets for like 10 hours
10 hours?
total. Yeah, total.
Wow. Okay. In one day.
Yeah.
So I would not
Yeah,
recommend doing that.
no, don't do that.
You could hurt yourself, first of all. Just aim training that much, unless you're taking really long breaks, isn't probably not ideal. And also, like, you got to realize that you're really, when you're building a skill, you're trying to grow a part of your brain, and so it takes time for that to happen. So you can't rush progress, but it is definitely the fastest way to reach new high scores. And if you're on the cusp, like Remy was, it makes sense to do it. And it's also kind of fun. Sometimes you just get obsessed with those scores.
Yeah, the thing is, you're so close to getting a PB every run, so you just keep playing, and next thing you know, you've played the task for 10 hours.
Right. Pretty crazy. So 600 hours master complete. In my mind, master complete is like a big accomplishment. Some people would say that, only once you hit grandmaster on the advanced benchmarks, that's when you really start. But to me, I've seen some highlights of people that are master complete in Apex and other games, and they're crazy good at the game, and they have insane aim. So if I used to recommend diamond to everybody, and I still hold that. I think diamond for most people, you're gonna have
I feel
better
like
aim.
Diamond now is a little worse than it used to be.
I would agree. I don't know how the scores directly match up to previous seasons, or maybe the entire player base of aim training has just gotten better.
Yeah, I don't know if I got better, but Diamond right now is really easy to achieve.
Right, but that's probably just because you're better, though, right?
Yeah, but I helped some of my friends reaching Diamond as well, and it was pretty fast.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
But
It's
to
just a
me,
matter of knowing how to play the task, and usually the score goes up.
okay. Now I'm kind of rusty with aim training. I had wrist issues, hand issues, and just generally wanted to focus my energy on playing shooters rather than aim training. So for me, I can get a master score with a week or two of practice if I got back into it. Like I just recently got a master score in tracking. But to me, like that, as long as I know that I can get a master score, I feel like my aim is not going to be the thing that's holding me back. So I feel like master and on the voltaic benchmarks is the new maybe benchmark for most people to try to reach if you're going to put some serious time in aim training. It still will take you several hundred hours. So, um, if you like aim training, I would say it's definitely worth it. If you really just want to get better at the game, maybe 30 minutes to an hour of aim training and let go of the benchmarks. Would you agree with that, or am I
Yeah, totally.
okay?
If you only play 30 minutes, but you're actively focusing on improving your weaknesses, this will be beneficial.
Yeah. I wish that I had just kind of maybe stuck with 20 to 30 minutes over the past few years rather than just completely stopping. But I just have a hard time. And I think maybe you do too. It's like I get really obsessed with wanting to achieve a goal in a game, and I can't let it go. I don't really want to do anything else but play that game.
Yeah. I- For now, my game is Kovac, so
Yeah. So is that
all the
is
games are
that
pretty boring. Yeah.
is a grandmaster your next goal? Is that what you're shooting for?
Yeah, I'll try to go as high as I can, but yeah, next is Grandmaster, I think.
Okay.
I tried some of the tasks already, and it's really hard. So I'm trying to get better aim already.
Yeah, I've tried a few of the tracking ones after hitting master, and it's definitely a big jump. Do you
I tried Snake Track, Roll Control, and Counter 3, and yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, definitely. Have you tried other benchmarks like in Aim Labs, and have you tried Aim Beast or any of the other aim trainers? And what are your thoughts compared to Kovacs and
Not really.
Voltaic?
I only played Voltaic right now, but I've bookmarked a static benchmark actually, a Chinese one. So I may give it a try soon.
A Chinese benchmark
It's
in aim training?
yes,
Just
CA static benchmark. Yeah,
okay. Yeah,
and I think it's Chinese.
I thought CA back in like 2021 they were trying to recruit basically grandmaster aim trainers. I think it's the same um, group, but could be wrong. But they're a
Yeah,
Chinese group.
I've seen Minigod playing it on his stream, and we asked
Okay.
for the sheet.
Okay. Huh. All right. So overall do you think it was worth it to aim train for
Yeah,
600
definitely.
hours? Okay. And why do you think so?
Because even though I don't play games this day, when I actually want to play something, I don't feel like I'm losing because I'm aiming poorly. It's more because I'm not familiar with the mechanics of the game, and I just need to get good at that. My aim is fine generally.
See, that's a big
I
thing
was
for me too. Is you can eliminate the reason that your aim sucks, and you can just focus on, oh, my positioning is what's killing me.
Yeah, usually it will be my positioning or not knowing the weapons to play, things like that. But my aim usually is fine. I was playing some frag punk and I was getting first on a lot of games actually.
Okay. Good. Good. All right. What are your favorite Kovacs scenarios to play in playlists?
Hmm. I enjoy playing anything that involves striking. I think I
Same.
don't have a top one task I would play every day.
What's your favorite benchmark from Voltaic? If you had to boot it up and
Uh,
you had to choose one, which one would you be like? Okay, I'll play that one. Whatever one you
like
need to
a
get the
task?
score with. Yeah. Which task?
It's either I think.
Ether. Okay.
Yeah, reactive striking is really fun actually to play.
It's fun for a little bit for me, but then I get tired. I'm old.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you play it overly tense, then it gets tiring pretty fast. But once you manage to keep track of the bot with the least amount of tension, then it becomes really fun, in my opinion.
Maybe that's something that I need to work on because I definitely do tense up too much, especially with static and reactive tracking. I'm like really trying my hardest and I grip the mouse maybe probably too tight. Precise tracking, I don't have that problem. So maybe I just need to work on that.
Yeah, for me it's the opposite. On precise tracking, I tend to tense a lot more, so I need to work on that.
Gotcha. All right.
But yeah, either was the most fun I had in the benchmark, I think.
Ether. Okay. For me, it was always air angelic. I love that scenario. I don't know
Oh
why.
yeah. It's
It's
a
a really
tough
good one.
one.
it's tough, and you have to have really precise control and also react. And it's if you really want to quickly warm up on Kovacs, hop into look up Air Angelic for Voltaic and
Yeah,
just
I think you
run
made
that
me
for
play
five
this one.
minutes in one of our weeks of one of
Yeah,
our
yeah,
routines. Yeah, I think it's
yeah.
awesome, that one. And I really like Eva TS. It's just a good overall because it has
Oh,
target
that yes is fun.
switching
Yeah.
and tracking. It's good stuff.
Target switching is, yeah, I think it's my second most favorite category.
So did you try the Voltaic like fundamental routines or and weakness specific routines, or what routines were you playing?
Yeah, I think I played the control and precise tracking one for a while when I was trying to get Jade complete.
Okay. Would you recommend most people just stick to the fundamental routines, or to just like trust their intuition and play what they want to play?
I'd rather play the task I enjoy playing. If they're beneficial, then I'd play that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think a lot of people get stuck in routines, and they want to know, okay, how many times do I do this specific scenario? How long should my break be? At what time of day is it the most ideal? What should my belly heighten to desk ratio be? I've been asked about how close my belly button is to my desk probably 20 times over the past few years. And I got to let you guys
That's
know,
crazy.
it doesn't matter. Like you got to find what works for you, and experimentation definitely is important. So like for you, your mechanics with aiming, have you changed like the way that you sit, the way that you hold your mouse? Has it changed since you started aim
Yeah,
training?
but I changed my grip a little bit, but it was coming naturally while playing the benchmark. Actually, I was not thinking about changing my grip, but as I progressed, it kind of shifted a bit.
Do you still use that same grip when you play CS or Fragpunk?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have the same grip on all the game I play now.
Okay. I noticed that I changed my grip mostly because I was using the spacebar to fire in Kovacs so that I wouldn't get super tense in my hand. But still, if I ever like really need to aim somebody, then I'll like change my grip back to how I used to hold the mouse, which was like a really tense like claw grip versus more relaxed, which is what I learned to play with in Kovacs, just so I could play for longer. But
The way I hold my mouse is like only fingertip, and usually my wrist does not touch my mouse pad, so it's kind of hovering.
okay. Do
Except maybe
you
when I play CS, when I hold an angle, maybe my wrist will be planted.
Do you plant your forearm on your desk, or do you use your
Yeah, I have my elbow as a pivot point,
okay?
and
And
that's about it.
so this is like really specific, but do you use the skin on your forearm? Do you like push up and down to like get vertical, or do you mostly use your fingers to do vertical movements?
I move my whole arm if I have to aim up. I will move my arm
Arm up.
and shoulder actually. Yeah.
And do you wear a sleeve with like a cloth mouse pad, or what's your setup?
In summer, yeah, I have to use a sleeve because otherwise my arm is sticky.
Gotcha. Yep. All right.
But if it's not really hot in my home, I don't use a sleeve.
I used to wear a sleeve, and now what I found were these. I'll maybe put a link in the description of the video to like some Amazon, just so you guys can see it. But I wear these long sleeve, like athletic polyester jackets. I guess I don't know if they call them jackets, but like quarter zip things. And for me, that I really like that because it's just more comfortable than having to wear a sleeve, personally. But consistency, yeah, it's I think it's definitely worth it. I think a lot more people are using it, especially if you have like a glass mouse pad. You have to.
If I feel I cannot move my arm because it's sticking to my desk, then yeah, I will probably put something on my arm, either a sleeve or a sweatshirt.
Well, I'm looking over my questions here, and I don't know how much else. Let's see. I think we've pretty much covered just about everything. Is there anything that you wanted to just talk about that we didn't talk about today?
I think I'm good.
You good? Do you have any
Yeah.
questions for me?
Yeah. What are you up to these days?
I'm trying to hit Celestial, I think, in Marvel Rivals. I'm trying to force myself to play. I went through my obsession mode, and I've
I've
got
seen
like
you play Kovacs still. What do you play?
I just wanted to hit master in some tracking, and I did. So now I'm not. I would like to maybe hit grandmaster, but for me, like hitting the top 1% in um an actual shooter instead of aim training to me is, I think, important, because that's what I was supposed. That's what I had set out to do with Valorant, and then I didn't stick with Valorant just because I couldn't force myself to play the game, and I hit.
The game is really taxing mentally.
Yeah, for me it was like not toxic, but like if I'm on a team-based game, and especially if I'm like, you have to communicate in the game, like it's important to call out where people are and what your abilities are, and things. I really don't want to let down my team. And I had like a similar thing with like World of Warcraft when I played arenas. If I was the reason that the team lost, I just felt really, really bad. And it wasn't so
Yeah,
much
I got
like
you.
people flaming me, I just felt bad about it. And so I think the mental aspect of the game I wasn't the best with, like emotionally. I was like, it just didn't feel it worth the pain of continually subjecting myself to like being like either feeling frustrated or defeated constantly. So that's why, again, like I love aim training, because it's just pure skill development. There's nobody um to blame but yourself. So
Yeah, I get that.
yeah. But we'll see if I've already I was the top 1% in Marvel Rivals when it like came out, in like season 1. And then since then I played several accounts instead of my main, and so now my main is like the top 97%. So I don't know, for me it's like important to be the top 1%, because if you're a content creator, if you can prove that you're in the top 1%, then you're better than 99 out of 100 people that watch your videos. And to me that's like the minimum benchmark to like feel confident with like being able to coach people. And I think maybe what I might try in Kovacs is to hit the top 1% in like popular scenarios instead of sticking to the benchmarks.
Oh yeah.
Might be a cool little fun thing to do. But all right, well, thanks for hopping on to talk about this. Appreciate it. If anybody, you don't have a YouTube or socials, do you?
No, I don't have anything.
Okay. Any plans to?
I will maybe try to stream some Kovacs from time to time, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, if you want, we can put your Twitch in your YouTube in the description if you want. If not,
Yeah, okay.
no worries.
Yeah, I'll
But
give you the link to my Twitch.
okay. Well, anyways, thank you. Appreciate it. Hopefully this was helpful to other people trying to hit master, trying to improve at aim training. And we'll wrap up the old podcast style interview here. Thank you again for watching. And thank you again, Rémi, for hopping on.
No problem.